What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's RDV here. On what? 4th of July? Am I crazy? Why am I on celebrating with family? We did that on the weekend. 4th of July here. My sit town says, I know we're going to do it on the weekend because 4th of July is a Tuesday. So they assumed everybody be working. Or I don't know. Whatever. I figured, I'd be here for you guys, and still give you your top 5 Tuesday. I know Zach is busy with his family right now. Best wishes to everybody else who's celebrating the 4th, and happy 4th of July. What's up, Ash on Comics? What's up, brother? Yeah, I'm flying solo tonight, which isn't that bad. Sometimes it's good not to have Zach here. I can have some breathing room. I don't have to listen to his takes on Orion North's a great writer and all the other jazz. But, man, been kind of a crazy day. Wouldn't be a 4th of July without a bunch of smoke from Canada coming down again. Yes, yesterday was clear out, and for today I decided, here, let's push all the Canadian smoke back into my state. Fun, right? Alrighty. But, it's going to be a short one today because I only have 5 books to talk about. Yeah, plus there's not many books coming out that I really care to see this week because a lot of them are that Night Terror crap from DC, which you're pushing. Some of you may be like, oh, it's great. I have no care for it whatsoever. I sat through Future States. To me, this is Future State rebooted. Let's see how bad it can get. But then again, you do have some good writers on some of the stuff. You do have Joshua Williamson doing a Batman book, but like I said, it interrupts the actual main story. The good thing though is that we actually have Mark Waid his books are not being interrupted. I guess he has enough clout at DC that says, you know what, I don't want to do that Night Terror shit. And yeah, he's gonna be releasing World's Finest this month, along with World's Finest in his new book, Teen Titans, which is basically the Teen Titans books on them in the Silver Age. So looks kind of cool. All right, guys. So without further ado, I'm just going to share my screen. We'll just jump right into this. And hello to you, MK. Yes, I am writing solo today. So, all right. I didn't actually think anybody was going to watch. I think you guys are all busy with their families. All right. Share my screen here. Well, let's get going. All right. So, yeah, as you can see, the first 4 books, normally I'd be excited for 2 of them. Actually 3 of them, but, well, the first 2, hold on a second. I think I hear someone jumping in. Uh-oh. It's Ash on Comics. What's up, brother? Can't hear you.
Hey there, sorry.
There you go.
Technical difficulties. Yeah, I told you yesterday you didn't have to fly solo.
No. Well, I figured you'd be busy with your family.
I don't got family.
I got family, but I do have family. But I saw my family for the past 2 days, so I figured, why not just hang out today? Yeah. So I'm looking at these books here. This is the very first row here. Chip Zdarsky Daredevil. I should be excited about this book, but I just got to the point where I just got Zdarsky'd out. And they're talking about in this book, it's like, that he might be dying. Are they going to kill Daredevil off? It's like, I don't understand where Zdarsky's going.
Well, they could always have Elektra fill in. Oh, wait.
She's in jail, last I heard.
Well, they could do a story where Elektra is Daredevil in jail.
Right? I don't know. I understand it, but I mean, I don't know. Thor. I should be excited about that, but there's no one on there that I even care. Who's even writing this? It's probably Al Ewing coming back. And it's probably I think it's Lansing, Kelly, and Al Ewing. Does not really excite me.
Well, that's an annual, though, isn't it?
It's an annual, still.
Yeah, so annuals are never really indicative of what the main book is.
I mean,
Lansing, wait a second. Didn't Thor get canceled?
Yeah.
How is there an annual if there's not actually a Thor book?
This is the last book.
It's number 1.
Yeah. Why? Because it has exclusive prologue to the Mortal Thor by Al Ewing. Cool.
So Thor got canceled. Then they release an annual when there's no series
Yeah,
before they actually reboot a new.
this is the
I don't.
prologue.
Marvel just does
Yeah,
that.
I know. Before the number one with Al Ewing comes out later on, they're gonna have this. They're gonna have Al Ewing's little prologue in this, along with yeah. So I don't. It's
I so cannot stand this when Marvel does annuals when there's not an actual book. If you just want to do like Thor, like special, giant size special, do something like that, but don't call it annual. It's not an annual.
it's annual.
Annuals come out every year. That's why they're called annuals, and they're for ongoing series. Like, hey, there's this Amazing Spider-Man's been going on for 65, 70 years, however long. Like, every year there's an annual for it. Like, that's how you do it. Not this is nonsense.
Yeah, if it's an ongoing and you have an yeah, like it used to be back in the day. Yeah, you'd have an annual once or twice a year. Don't you have? No, I think they had twice. But I remember at least once. I remember reading them. But yeah, back in school
Oh,
days.
look, there's even a Hellfire Gala variant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you see this one? Jane Foster, the one little mini hammer. Why?
She look at that sassy face.
That's a resting bitch face, right? She's normally a happy person.
Why does she have wings?
Because she's a Valkyrie. They're
Valkyries
angels.
don't have wings.
They're angels.
No.
Maybe she's a phoenix. I don't know. I don't know.
Could be. Maybe she's Thor's sister.
Oh, maybe it is.
Gross.
Is it Angelique? No, it can't. It has to be. It looks like Jane.
Yeah, it's Jane.
Yeah. I don't know. Then you're done with the Hellfire Gala. This one. Yeah.
At least there's a George Perez variant that they pulled. I don't know where they pulled this art from.
Yeah. Oh, the George Perez one. I was looking at that.
Yeah, they pulled some sort of stock photo that they, or not photo, but art. This is probably never meant to be a cover. They just found and blew it up to a cover.
Maybe it's a wraparound. Wouldn't that be great?
No, that would be if it was designed to be a cover.
Yeah.
This is probably an unused art from something, either a promo material or a page that got scrubbed. I don't know. That they've just kept. I've seen them do this in the past where, like, a couple years back, actually, when Wolverine got launched, they had a Todd McFarlane variant, like the 1 in 500 cover. And it was like Todd McFarlane. And it's obviously Todd McFarlane didn't come back to draw this. This is something that Marvel has had since like the 80s. It's some old, and it wasn't like really good. Like you could tell they blew it up. Like it was a panel originally. And they like blew it up to full. So it was like, I don't know.
That's like Comixology. You're not supposed to see that close to the panel, the faces when they're drawn little, with no detail, and they turn it into a cover. Ooh. No, that's gross. But yeah, I'm not even happy about the Thor. Dude, I was loving Thor. Cates was on Thor after Venom. And just like it was fun. I mean, and then like I said, I was enjoying it just as much as I had fun with Straczynski's Thor run back in the day. Back when Thor was at 600.
Yeah, I liked Cates' Thor. I thought he was doing interesting things with the character. And I thought Cates was a really good choice for Thor because Cates has this sense of mythology. Like all the stuff that he does, like his Venom series, like he's got this good sense of like interjecting mythos into the characters that make you more than just like the stories and plot lines. Like, ooh, there's this deep-seated lore that I'm discovering, and Cates was working on a lot. Like, I love what he did with the Donald Blake stuff. Love it or hate it, I thought it was really cool, like to kind of explain that no one's really ever tried to do before. Like, it was Donald Blake was always this thing. It was like, once upon a time we did Donald Blake, and then Walt Simonson came, and we forgot about like. But there was no like continuity explanation of like, wait, whatever happened to that? And Cates was like, oh, here's an explanation. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool.
Look, it's Spider Goblin.
Spider Goblin, Spider Goblin.
he's on a Goblin glider. This is, it's, I just can't with this anymore. They just no. It'd be like Spider-Man just killed all his enemies and just took their gadgets for himself. Like, wait, Doctor Doom. Chorus, there's Ryan North, Fantastic Four. Spawn, not really into it, but I guess it's still going at 343. You got to give him credit for that. It's still the same volume, I think, right?
I like the solicit for this. The Web Slinger and the Emperor of Electricity have both leveled up since they last faced each other. This is a video game? What do you mean they leveled up? And then plus Norman Osborn does something that may end his new amicable relationship with Spider-Man. Like what? Sleep with Gwen Stacy?
So listen to this. The fact you said level up, that was Flash towards the end of the season. Bro, you really leveled up. Yeah, I know, bro. I leveled up. He's faster. They kept using level up. So it's like, that's, it's CW quality writing when they say level up. Because nobody says level up.
Oh, my goodness.
And it wasn't even Cisco saying level up. That's the bad thing. If Cisco said it, Cisco gets a pass. Cisco's proven to be a worthy character on that show. But even that, it's like, I don't care for Chunk, who is a shell of his character. Ugh.
I never liked Chunk. I hated that character. I was like, this was just like Cisco 2.0. Why are you introducing this character? And what's this idea that, oh, you're a computer hacker, so now you know like astrophysics? Like, that's not how that works. Just Chunk, because you learned to hack computers. You're not a physicist.
So Chunk's character, Chester, whatever, he was like a crappier version of Mr. Terrific on Arrow. That's the way I describe him, because I had more respect for Mr. Terrific on Arrow, even though he kind of annoyed me sometimes, but he was a shell of his character. But I'm gonna go to my number 5. I'm quickly gonna say hello to actually 9 people watching. Crap, you guys have nothing to do on 4th of July. You're like families in the other room. Let's go Geeky Puppet Show. Loyalty, I love it. To heal him, hello, it's good to see you, man. Mark McGrath, he said he read both Night Terror's First Blood and Night Terror's Batman. Both were awful. DC has made a huge mistake. Wilson is okay on solo heroes, but he isn't an event writer, plain simple. If he's someone who's co-writing with them on events, I think he's a little better, but I do agree on some things. But I do recommend that you check out his Robin series from last year. Not the Damian Wayne Robin series. That was fun. Rhaegar, it's great to see you. How's it going, little Rhaegar? We got Dave Asanovich. What's up, my dude? Great to see you. Maranya, hello. She says, "Wow, Ash on top 5. What a happy 4th of July surprise."
I'm Zach. I just look like Ash.
And congrats,
sound like them.
Congrats at having a voice.
Dude, man, I have been on my deathbed the past week. I'm so glad that I can sit here and even talk.
I'm glad you chose Geeky Puppet Show to be on your deathbed.
I've made my debut back to the land of the living.
Eloise, what's going on? Rhaegar, I can hack a computer. Now I'm on polymath. All right. I'm gonna go to my number 5. The very slim pickets for me this week because I'm not getting a single DC book.
What?
Yeah. Well, they pushed Night Terrors out. Nothing else I want is coming out. So going to number 5. Gonna scroll down here, and I'm kind of annoyed it's so far down.
Night Terrors, Batman.
I'm going to Swan Songs. This isn't my cup of tea, but out of respect for Skip, man. Love you, brother. W. Maxwell Prince, Ice Cream Man, haha, continues his weird winning one-shot format with his all-new multi-art project. Explores the way that things end. and also how they never really do. Comprises of stories about endings, the end of the world, end of marriage, end of a sentence, the end of the world, which I suppose might be considered the beginning of a new world. And along the terminal ride are some of the comics' brightest artists. End of the World is drawn by none other than Department of Truth, Martin Simmons. Future edits or future endings includes Casper Wingard for Homesick Pilots, Philippe Andrade on The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. Dude, I saw this. I was thinking, like, I know you guys like Layla Starr. Skip was reading Department of Truth. He also liked Homesick Pilots. I've never given these guys a shot before. So you know what? It's a little miniseries premiere, so I kind of want to check it out. And it's only $3.99. It's just been
Ice Cream Man was his favorite book.
Yeah, it was. That's why I saw this. So the Ice Cream Man. So I was like, you know what? I've never checked out Ice Cream Man. I'll have to check it out. But I saw this. I was like, dude, this was only $3.99. If this had been DC, would have been like $6. So here's the other cover.
It's kind of sad though that we talk about like it's only $3.99. Like we're all excited to pay $4 for a book.
I'm paying $1 more than what Nightclub, or is that $2.99? Or what is that? What is that? $2.99 or is that $1.99? I always forget. But yeah, it's a cool cover. I was looking at some of these. I was like, and Skip saw something in this. These guys writing something, and I want to check it out because.
Yeah, well, W. Maxwell Prince is the writer of Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
And he just loved the heck out of that. This would have been totally a book he would have picked up for 100% sure.
Yep.
And he also likes some of these others, like Casper Wingard is one of his favorite artists.
Yep.
So, yeah. Now I'm all melancholy.
You gotta remember the good stuff about Skip, man.
Oh yeah.
RDV. Let's call me. I know it's sad, but I mean, like, that's the way I've learned to deal with that. They did that to my father 7 years later. It still hurts, but I remember the good stuff, and that's one of the things I know Skip would want us to do is remember the good stuff.
Yep.
And keep pressing forward. Live life to your fullest, man. Read good books, and give Ash sass.
Give Ash sass.
Don't be, like I said, that's the one thing I get from my friendship with Skip is that don't be afraid to speak your opinion. We all will agree to disagree. Some of us might be jerks. Oh well, but you should never silence yourself because somebody else because you're afraid of what somebody else might think, and just keep pressing forward. So. Yep. I'm not trying to make anybody cry here. I'm trying not to make myself cry, but yeah, dude. We got here. Hello to JR Exeter saying, "Hail Lord Zeno." Who is this Lord Zeno? Are you saying Lord Xena? I'm not old enough to know who Zeno is. I know Zigzeon from that stuff, but every time I hear Ice Cream Man, the first thing I think of is Clint Howard. Clint Howard. Was he was drawn into the book or something? I know. Like a Clint Howard, I don't think of that.
Yeah, I'm not sure where that comes from.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to shave, but I'm listening. Okay, Dave. We'll be listening too. All right, so yeah, this is my number 5, dude. I want to check it out. And what way to get a sampler book, right? So
yeah, I'll be very curious to see what you think about it. It's not something I would expect you to get, but maybe it'll win you over. I know nothing about it other than I know what his previous works are, but
yeah. So the worst it is, I could spend $399, then I can donate to somebody else who might like this book. All right, so my number. Let's go to my number 4. do you have any books this week you're pulling?
I have 0 books I'm pulling this week.
All right, not even this book.
A terrible week for me.
I thought you'd at least pulling this book. Maybe you will.
I've tried to get into. I was trying to get into his last series, Haha.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good. Like it was one of those books that I could read and go, I can tell this is very high quality.
Yeah.
But it just didn't click for me.
I hear you.
It wasn't like, I was like, it's a terrible. Like I didn't have any negative feelings for the book. It was just like one of those like, yeah, I could see if I had the certain mindset or whatever. It's a niche. He's like a niche kind of writer. I do actually have the deluxe Ice Cream Man that Skip got for me that I'm looking forward to diving into. I feel really terrible now because I really wanted to dive into it like with him, but
same here, man. We're talking about American Century, doing a review of that. Skip, passed away. I know Skip was a fan of American Century. He'd been reading it.
Yeah.
So like I said, so what do we do? I think Zach was actually was dabbling into Ice Cream Man. I'd say on Skip, we should all do a review on the book. Get together. And do
maybe we could do something like that.
We'll do it live when you're not half past dead.
I mean, there is a book that's coming out this week that I'm borrowing from. You.
You're borrowing a book from me?
Yeah.
I'm borrowing. News to me.
I sneak into your bedroom at night and I read it.
I'll give you Zach's address so you go to the wrong room.
I don't think Zach gets the book.
He doesn't? Oh.
He might, but
well, I know which book you're talking about. Well, actually, no. There's a couple in my book. I don't know. It could be one or two. All depends. But let's get to my number 4. Hold on. We'll see. We get this week's pull list. Mark, you're not supposed to drop your load all at once. You're supposed to even it out in the stream. I guess this is no. This is a random order, or is this his order? But he says his Spawn. He's got Phantom Road, No One, Hairball, Swan Songs, Heatseeker, Mosley, Torrent, Venom, Lethal Protector 2, and then Trade Waiting on Gargos. All right. That is a mouthful. All right. I'll go with the puns. Let's go to my number 4. My number 4 is actually the only reason some of these books are higher because I'm familiar with them. Swan Song is an unknown. That's why it's at 5, not because it's bad. So my number 4 is actually Doctor Strange. 5. Like I said, it's only because it's the devil I know. Yes, it's the Dark Wedding Bells. What? I don't think they're really getting married, but whatever. Apparently, Clea's mother is being married to another Sorcerer Supreme from another dimension. It says, but when the bride is Clea's own mother, Umar unrelenting, it's not exactly a familiar event the strangers want to attend, especially when the guests are mysteriously being murdered, one by one. Yay!
All I know is that an Alex Ross cover?
Which one? The main one?
For Doctor Strange?
Cover artist. What does it see here? Does not? Yeah, it is Alex Ross.
So I get very, very wary when I see a Marvel comic with an Alex Ross cover these days.
Yep.
Because their track record has been to put Alex Ross on some of their worst books.
Yeah.
Ta-Nehisi Coates, Captain America. It's like, hey, the book inside is terrible, but we'll sell it with these covers.
To be fair, the first 6 issues were okay.
Okay.
It was right to get the. I think it was actually the end. Take it back. The beginning of 6 was great. He got to the end. Did he realize the Daughters of Liberty? And I was like, ugh. But yeah, obviously they want to push books, but I don't understand why they don't just push posters instead. But I don't know. Like I said, it's mediocre. Doctor Strange. Yeah. But like I said, hopefully this will turn out to be good. If not, I mean, I might drop this book soon too. I mean, it's not really as exciting as the one before of it, but especially the issue last year, which was all about Wong, which I had no problem Wong being in a story, but it should not took on the whole entire book. It's like going into watching a show, your favorite show, which is 45 minutes long, but 40 minutes is just Wong by himself with somebody else, and you're like, oh, here's the main title character right here for 5 minutes. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Flash. The whole time. It's called The Flash, but it has nothing to do with Barry. All right. All right. Go to my number 3. We know of one book Zach has from the 1940s. I'm curious, which one is that? Ta-Nehisi Coates is like the William Shakespeare of our time. Whatever do you mean, Ash? Infamous B horror. I guess the B horror movie, Ice Cream Man, starring Clint Harder. Oh, okay, there's a movie reference. Okay, not surprised that actually is the name of a movie. All right, my number 3 is we're gonna get a little spicy. It's a little hint. If you don't know what it is.
Marvel Zero #1.
I said spicy, not like plastic in my mouth. Ugh.
Well, this is a book that should make anyone spicy.
They
got this book coming out called Marvel Zero #1. There you go, right next to Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I see it.
And $7, and you know what it is?
All the free comic book.
It's a reprint of the free comic book day issues.
All in one book.
So the books that you could have got for free or should have got for free, you can now buy them for $7 in a reprint book.
Or read them online for free.
My goodness.
But we're going to Heat Seekers.
You sink to new lows.
I get a little hot tonight.
Spicy? Are you sure it's not sweet? Spicy, sweet and spicy?
Oh, it is
sweet heat.
Sweet heat? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little tangy.
Little honey. A little spicy honey.
So obviously this is a spin-off of a character that was, I guess she was in the previous books. Marked for death by U.S. intelligence agency gun honey Joanna Tan turns to Dahlia Racers to help her pull a vanishing act, but the killer hot on her trail, beautiful sociopath Sarah Claride, will leave bodies strewn from New York to Las Vegas to Tijuana, Mexico, if it means cornering Dahlia and breaking her. The finest kind of pulp noir, says Ed Brubaker. He says it in every book.
Yeah, I think they just reuse his quote.
He's a fan of every issue. Yeah. This is Charles Ardai returning. So
this seems like a no-brainer for you.
Yeah. It's definitely a no-brainer for me. These are hot issues, and there's a cosplay cover too. What?
There are a lot of covers.
It's Gracie.
Oh, there's a funny Archie homage cover.
Is there an Archie one? I didn't see it. Where do you see that? Oh, right there. Lady Jane one too as well. That's funny. If I see that, I might grab that one. But
that's quite a few covers.
Yeah, I think this is supposed to be Lady Jane or something. I'm not sure. This looks like Black Widow.
Yeah, I would probably go for the Bill Sienkiewicz cover.
Is it supposed to be? It's foil variant. Nice. Yeah. Then of course
that's probably the one I would go for.
Of course, and then we got the nude one right here too for you guys who like the nude covers. I mean, who's actually the artist for this? Actually, really good art. Carafina. Who's Carafina? Doesn't even list. But like I said, there's a couple different covers. There's so many of them. But whatever you guys decide to, if you guys are with me on the buying this, let me know which ones you guys get. I say I just feel weird. I'm going to a comic book store if you got that copy of Gun Honey, like the nude one, and it's like it's in a bag, they have to hand it to you. That just it's like going to Suncoast. Remember Suncoast? They have
Yeah.
wait, what's this section? Why are they all covered? Oh, that's what that is. So it's like now that you know what it is, you feel self conscious. You always avoided that aisle. You go around it. All right. Like I said, I've been enjoying this Gun Honey. It's been a fun ride. I hopefully this continues in it, and man, I hope it's a number. I hope it's a good selling for a hard case, or at least for a Titan, because I'd hate to see Titan go away. We know the IDW might be dropping soon. Did Valiant ever go away too, or is that still around?
Valiant is still around. They're publishing like one book
How
or
are
two
they
books.
still around?
I think they got that Chinese CCP money.
Exo Man of War, I think is one of them. They're still doing.
Yeah, they got an Exo book, and they got a Bloodshot book right now, I think.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, sorry. I say Lady Jane. Yeah, Lady J. Lady Jane is a sports hair clip place they have for men. Lady Jane, go to. It's really weird. I don't know why they call it Lady Jane, but it is. I guess it's supposed to be like hot women cutting your hair. It's like a Hooters for haircuts. I don't understand it.
Hooters for haircuts, huh? That's interesting.
Yeah, come in to get a haircut. Got this hot girl. She's dressed scantily and she's cutting your hair.
All right.
I mean, she's wearing a tight top and your face is like in her boobs the whole time while she's cutting your hair. You're not really gonna notice. Who hairs?
I don't know what I think about a place like that. That's like I'd feel like a creeper. Like I'd feel so weird getting my haircut there.
Well, especially as you get older, and the girls stay the same age.
Right.
All right. All right. Go to my number 2, man. I think my number 2 is the one you wanna borrow, I should say. And it's I don't think it's the final issue of the series. Hope it's not. It still goes. I want all my books that I'm reading. I'm tired of these 6-issue things. Keep going on. I want ongoings. I want you to be on 36, or 650. And there it is. Torrent issue number 5 is my number 2 for the week. End of the story arc.
This has been an intense book.
Oh my! I don't even know how it's going to end. I mean, she pulled basically Tower of Babel last issue. And now it said I'm not even gonna say what's going on with it because I want you guys to go and actually go pick up this book and read it. Or at least the previous ones. Guggenheim has been been a fun time reading his books. Greenwood's art is growing on me. I was with you, Ash. The art was like, this is really weird out there. But then I started reading the story. It's like the art didn't really bother as much. It kind of like started digging the story more. So the art, even though the art was still kind of rough, I do like Greenwood's art a little bit.
Well, I'm still not a big fan of the.
I'm not a huge fan
art.
of art.
However, the story, the writing, everything is kind of transcended that for me. So that's actually saying something. When a book is good enough that you're like, I don't even pay attention to the art anymore. But if that book had really good art, or at least let me rephrase, if it had art that I really liked, I wouldn't have to borrow it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Here's the Leonardi curve.
Yeah, I like the Leonardi covers. That's nostalgic.
Do you know what's supposed to be copying? Anything?
Yeah, that's I don't know the exact cover. I believe.
What title it's supposed to be? Like a Justice League?
I believe it might be an X-Force cover.
Wolverine.
All the Rick Leonardis were homages to my
X-Men.
My understanding, and I don't. Well, actually, no. The last issue was a Daredevil cover. But anyways, Rick Leonardi was the artist on X-Men when I got into comics, and I really liked him as an artist. So kind of seeing him do this is his style's changed a bit, but it's just kind of nostalgic.
It would be great though to see this book redone with Leonardi interior art.
Oh yeah, I would love to see him doing interior art.
Yeah, I would buy it all over again.
I would yeah, if he was doing the interior art, I would buy it. Yeah, it's a good book, man. I highly recommend people check this out. I've been very impressed. It's one of those books where I kind of like go in going, it's not my thing. I'm keeping looking for something to complain about, but it keeps winning me over like every issue.
Yes. Of course, here is the Wolverines. It's like Invincible almost. The blood they use. But also, actually, it reminds you of Murder Falcon. Some of the style of the art. A little bit. Just crazy out there. Rage. That's cool. But yeah, definitely enjoy this book. This book came out of nowhere. To him, that's not even funny. Ash loves his Riley Rossmo. Only kidding. That's a good question. Riley Rossmo, but you have like John Byrne writing, early John Byrne, but with Rossmo art.
It depends. I think I don't have this hate for Rossmo that everyone else seems to have. I do think his style is not well suited to traditional mainstream cape books.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put him on the right book, I think he can do well. Like I was fine with him on the Martian Manhunter series. I say that all the time.
I hear that all the time. People say that Martian Manhunter.
I think he could probably do like a Venom book, maybe. Something where he can draw like crazy weird stuff, and because it's when he draws people,
yeah,
that are just like, it's like
Howard the Duck,
yeah,
or DuckTales,
Peter Porker, Spider-Man.
Any cartoonish he has.
When he draws humans, they look weird, and that's I think that for me that's a big disconnect, and I think that's the problem that people have. But he's otherwise a strong artist. Like I think that he can draw. He just draws in a way that people don't like looking at, and so that's a big disconnect. So
all right, gonna go to my number one, but I'll give you guys a little recap for those who might have just joined us. Hello. My number 5 was Swan Song, issue number 1 coming out this week. Maxwell W. Prince, or is it W. Maxwell Prince? I can't remember. Number
W.
4
Maxwell Prince.
Okay. Yeah. Number 4 is Doctor Strange. My number 3 was Gun Honey. You just saw. My number 2 was Torrance. My number 1 for this week.
Riley Rossmo, Fantastic Four, number 9. Not Riley Rossmo, sorry, Ryan North.
Ironically, did you notice there's 3 Venoms this week? Venom, 22, Venomverse, and then
Extreme Venomverse.
And then the only good Venom, Venom Lethal Protector. This is the number 1.
Oh my god, there's only 3 Venom books this week?
Yeah, only 3.
Only 3?
I didn't scroll anymore. There might be more. Didn't want to.
All right. We all know it's going to be Captain America number 750.
I was like, oh, it's 750. And then I saw who was on it, and I was just like, go read Captain America 600. You had Roger Stern and a whole other better writers on that, and an anthology book. And I got that for 50 cents at my back use at my store. I was like, are you kidding me? Like Roger Stern and like all these other awesome writers were all writing like, little stories in for the 600, issue and a special anthology issue. I was like, and you compare that to today, who's writing, it's like, why would you even want to? But anyway, Dr. Doom, as you see here on the cover, is this kind of a spoiler if anyone has been reading the series. He stole the Venom symbiote. He basically came to Eddie in the last issue. He wanted Eddie to help him use a symbiote to basically help him retrieve his mother from hell. He wanted to save his mother's soul. So he figures out, since the symbiote, isn't from this Earth, it's from a different Earth, or it's from not this realm. It might be able to go into hell and withstand it, and so Doom says he basically betrays Eddie at the end of this. He says, "You know what? I'll just do it myself," and he steals the symbiote. Classic Doctor Doom for me, at least. Doom just being a dick, using people.
Pretty interesting. I'm curious to know how the story goes, because part of me is like, that's really cool. I do like the cover, by the way.
Yeah.
The other part of me is like, would Doom really like subject himself? Because the symbiotes kind of like take you over. It's like, I can't imagine Doom allowing another being to control him.
But what's his Doom though? Doom he has source magic. He could probably just turn the symbiote to its own, because
it depends on how it's written. So yeah, I mean,
the last issue, he was experimenting on Eddie, and then Eddie couldn't hear the voice anymore. Couldn't hear the symbiote talking to him anymore. So Eddie was kind of concerned. And at the last minute, he basically gets screwed over. So if there's no voice, he can't hear the the symbiote talking to him. I imagine that the host now is on control instead of the symbiote, and that's why Doom's taking it over. We'll see if it backfires on him or not.
I mean, it's got to backfire somehow.
Yeah.
Like, the book's called Venom, so Venom's got. I mean, Doom's got to lose.
Yeah.
Somehow, that's gonna be the tricky part. You got.
Well, yeah. I think Silver Sable is gonna show up and cause something.
That's always a tricky part when you have Dr. Doom show up, is how does the hero stop Doom, but in a way that's believable and satisfying? Because if you just make Doom a chump, then you're just like, oh, lame. But if Doom shows up in someone's book and just like wins, that's also not good either. Like, it's not his book,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm curious, but I do love that cover.
There's no other covers.
There's a need to be another cover.
Well, this is how comics.
This is how comics used to be. You just had one awesome cover, and it kind of told a story on the cover, right? Look, you see this cover, and you immediately want to open this book.
Dude, I see this.
Doom's getting the symbiote. I gotta open this.
And it's David Michelin doing the writing on this, So it's like he knows the guy who actually was there back when Doom was great, back in the day.
And the cover, the reason why, of course, this cover looks badass is Philip Tan doing the cover. This is the same artist doing Ronin 2, which might be the best art currently inside a book right now.
Yep.
I almost want to get this book just for this cover.
I know, isn't that awesome? It's like, I don't even care what the story is. Just Doom taking the symbiote and putting it on. Like, this the way they draw. Look at Eddie's got chest hair or something. I don't know.
Eddie's got chest hair or something.
Well,
all right.
I mean, it's been fun. Yeah. See, it doesn't even list the cover artist.
Now, Rhaegar says, okay, now I've decided I don't like symbiotes. This is what makes you decide you don't like symbiotes. For 30 plus years of symbiotes in Marvel, this is what makes you decide that you... Come on, Rhaegar. Come on.
You also realize that Doom has been, every year he battles Mephisto for his mother's soul, loses. So now he figures he might have an advantage using the symbiotes.
I don't think Doom getting a symbiote is dumb. Yeah. I think it could be dumb if it's done poorly. But let's remember, I just think of the Maker, and we think of Donny Cates' Venom run, which was a really good Venom run, by the way, and how the Maker controlled the symbiotes. The Maker's basically Dr. Doom with Reed Richards instead of Victor. I could see Dr. Doom Dr. Doom using the symbiote to his advantage.
That's what he's using. Yeah, if he's gonna go back into the hell and try to basically save his mother. Maybe it'll backfire on him. Maybe he won't even get the chance to go even there because, like I said, Silver Sable is about to show up there. And who knows? We also have the original Nick Fury, the only Nick Fury, who also might be showing up to a Shield. And I trust it because it's one of the original writers. This is the original writer of the series of Venom: Lethal Protector. It's David Michelinie.
This is the inventor of Venom.
Yeah, you're not getting
the creator, I guess. I don't know. Inventor's the wrong word.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I invented Venom. Well, him and Todd McFarlane, they kind of debate. It's one of those. So it's one of those Jack Kirby, Stan Lee type things. Is like, who's really the one who could?
Can you imagine if Todd McFarlane was doing the art on this?
Oh,
yeah. Not the writing. Todd is great when he's not doing the writing.
If Todd McFarlane was doing the art interior of the, I would be buying. I would be breaking my rule and buying a Marvel book.
But yeah. So it's like, I think if this had been say a modern book, because I don't really call this a modern book, it's just more like a throwback. If this had been like today, like, you know, and you have Dan Slott writing it, and say you have Mark Bagley drawing it, it would be horrendous. But the fact that it's David Michelinie, the guy who actually cares about the character, respects it and everything, and he's writing a story that takes place in between his other story he did back in the day, and it's not changing anything at all, nothing major difference is gonna retcon, you know, because people say like, oh, people don't read these. They say, oh, look, another Marvel retcon. It's not a retcon. If it was a retcon, man, more people would be upset about it. People actually reading it. I would be telling you right now, honestly, I would tell you if it's a retcon. It's not a retcon. So
Glinster asks, is there still only one Venom, or did he get the Spider-Man treatment? There's more than one Venom now because they did a dumb thing with Eddie Brock's son. So last I saw Venom, there was like it was Al Ewing and Rom V writing like a split book, and one of them was writing Venom basically out in space, and then the other one was writing Venom's son with the symbiote. Like, so there was like two.
I think,
and it kind of reminded me of what DC did with Superman and Jonathan Kent being also Superman. Like, so I don't know what the deal is with that anymore because it kind of faded away. But this is like, if you read Venom: Lethal Protector back in the 90s, this is like a sequel to that. Like, it just goes back as if all this nonsense of the past 25 years didn't happen.
Exactly. So there's no Dylan, no stuff. Spider-Man is still his enemy. He wants to kill Spider-Man. He's wanted by the police. Venom is. He will not kill innocents. That's the only thing that changes him from anything else. I guess he's still a villain. He reluctantly helped out Sable because someone he knows, this kid he's been like, you know, mentoring a little bit. Eddie's been mentoring. Got involved with this not a Hydra group, but another group, you know, and they end up, you know, he ends up having to save him, going to rescue him, and he teams up with Silver Sable. And Fury's like, you're a wanted criminal, but I'll give you a 5-minute head start because you did this, you know. But only because Silver Sable vouched for him. But because he was working for Silver Sable, which is would cause a whole, I guess her country, and then having a whole deal with S.H.I.E.L.D. that would cause a whole international mess, and Fury's just like, get out of here. So, but yeah, I understand people are tired of symbiotes. Well, I'm just tired of legacies. Boo hoo. You know, it's like, you think your symbiote hating is more important than hating legacies? You guys are so entitled.
Well, I thought this Venom symbiote thing was like the coolest thing.
Like the life
when it was unique and there was nothing else like it, and you didn't know where it was from. Yeah. Peter Parker brought it back from the Battle World, right? And it was just like, and Michelinie and McFarlane years later came up with this story that it wasn't just this ball that turned into a suit, like it was actually an alien concoction, like an alien being. And it was a really cool idea that got fleshed out. And then it got real popular. And then they were like, well, let's let it have kids. And that's where Carnage came from. And it's like, let's have more and more. And there was this like, it became like Baskin Robbins. There was like 31 flavors of symbiotes.
Here's what they should have done. I mean, I do love Carnage, and I wish they would have nipped the butt after the Carnage. No more Life Foundation bullshit. I didn't need Toxin because that's what that's what the third movie Venom's going to be with Tom Hardy. It's going to have Toxin. I know, right? Is the villain. And
so
there's talking about they might connect it to Andrew Garfield's Spider-Verse, I guess, or his world. But no, but I mean, yeah, the whole Life Foundation, I hated that. I mean, Life Foundation was cool to give Eddie his own, like, villains other than Spider-Man. People want to use it, obviously, because it's great. Rocks and Company and all that stuff. You think they wouldn't try to, like, hey, let's copy that guy's powers, and we can sell them to the highest bidder if we want to. So I understand the Life Foundation, but then you had Scream, and then you had Toxin, and all these other ones, and it's just like,
once it became just like, there's literally billions of these things, and anyone can get one, and then now you're a superpower being. You got your own Venom suit, like it ceases to be. It's like if Iron Man just made Iron Man suits for everybody.
Yeah,
Iron Man wouldn't be interesting anymore. It's only like he's more interesting when it's like only I can make this suit, only I can fly this suit. No one like me.
You mean like Steel and his daughter? Imagine if Rhodey gives an Iron Man suit to his daughter or niece.
Yeah.
We have War Machine Jr. or whatever. But yeah, like I said, I'm happy this is a throwback. None of there's no like modern day crap injected into this. No other Marvel influence. That's why it's only 5 issues. I honestly think that Marvel throws these in there because they wanted to, like, hey, we'll try to get you to come back, Ash. Ash, read some more Marvel. Look, we got the books you like. All the people have already left because they're flopping. They're like a fish. Marvel right now it's on the land. It's flopping. It's like slowly dying. And then they're like, here's some water. Here. And like, and you're like, dude, just throw me in the back of the ocean. I mean, they think that we're gonna like keep going buying Marvel stuff. The only thing I might buy from them is literally these throwback series. I'm supporting the actual, like, G and Mateus, I support him. I support Micheline. I support the people who actually are worth the money, not these new writers. Jed McKay, I take it back. Jed McKay is the only one I gave money to. That's out of the new writers, really, for Marvel stuff. But yeah, short week for me. Let's go hop over to the trades this week. So, got Batman and Robin, which is it's a hardcover. This is the Mark Waid one with the demon Nazah. Fun story. Thor: Legacy of Thanos. When first looking at this, I'm like, oh, it's a Straczynski run. No, it's not. It's Ewing. But it has Cates in here, though. So, Legacy of Thanos. Sword of Azrael. This is the Dan Waters. I believe this is the one that Skip was reading. I see you really enjoyed this book. That is going for $20. Then we have Vampires: All Out War. Yay! Matthew Rosenberg. This book sucked. It's part one.
Matthew Rosenberg.
It's part 1 hardcover. Part 1.
This is Matthew. You lost me at Matthew Rosenberg.
Although, to counter that, I remember Skip was telling me that outside of this, his independent book he was doing was pretty good. He liked it, enjoyed it.
Man, I'm just thinking about Sword of Azrael here. Like, this is one of DC's most underutilized characters. I
just saw him recently pop up in a book.
Well, he had his own book for a little while.
No, I was reading something. I think he's going to be involved in Night Terrors.
But Azrael is just a freaking cool character that's like part of the Bat family, but doesn't feel like a Bat clone. Like, he feels like his own thing.
Yeah.
And man, I was really enjoying him when they were doing the Justice League trilogy, where they had the Justice League Dark, and Justice League Odyssey. They put him on the Justice League Odyssey team, and it was really weird.
Yeah.
But it ended up working out really cool, and I was like, man, I really dig this character. And he just gets like forgotten. I would love to. I don't know. I guess.
So I remember where I saw him last in the Ram V Detective Comics. He appeared there, and he was just sitting there, and he was praying, and he had his back to the camera, to the reader, or whatever, staring up. And he had his sword there, and he had his his cape there, and he was like, what's they call that? Not praying, but he's like, it's a special where when the guys are sitting down cross-legged and they're like their hands like this, they're doing something. I forget what, meditating. That's what it was. He was meditating. So he might be appearing in Ram V's one of the next couple issues of Detective Comics. Ram V, right. Sword of Azrael. I see it, man. I dude, bring it. And that, yeah, Ram V's Detective Comics had a low point for me, but it's starting to pick up on that last issue from last week. So I'm looking forward to more of that stuff. So awesome stuff going on. Let me scroll back and look at some of the comments. Eric Breen says Ash Hearts Riley. Okay. He says Indie Eric is getting 4 indie books this week, but he just fails to mention what they are.
Well, he's kind of embarrassed about what he buys. I mean, so it's okay, Eric. You don't got to be embarrassed about your books.
And did Quinn coming in saying, "Hey, I'm getting my number 5 is Pink Elephant number 1." Dave says Frank Castle was able to control the symbiote in What If. Did Quinn coming in with his number 4, Parker Girls number 8. I know. I checked out Parker Girls, this new ish series. It's in black and white.
Mm-hmm.
Not a fan of that.
Well, that's how indies used to be.
Yeah. His number 3 is Phantom Road number 5. That's also come out this week too. I might dabble back into it. I read the first issue, but it kind of never went forward. Only because of budget cuts. I was cutting stuff out that he wasn't really excited about. Okay. And Nick Quinn says his number 2 is North Valley Grimoire, which is also coming out this week. I was thinking about making that my number 5, but I didn't read the first one, even though I own it. I haven't read the book, so I'll have to see if I'm going to get the second one. Murray says, I don't like Venom, Sam I am. No, I'm just kidding. I put the Sam I am there. Or Symbiote says, Rule, I haven't really liked symbiotes. That one Venom cover does not capture the feel of symbiotes. Oh, sure. All right. I would think about commissioning a top 10 reasons symbiotes are bad video, because I would find it entertaining to see someone badmouth one of the most popular and iconic characters in comics. Not to mention one of the coolest looking characters. A thing being popular in itself, it does not make me dislike it, but I can see issues with oversaturation, so to speak. Like when they had whatever that event where they had everybody who was the symbiotes invaded, and I'm not talking about the Null one. There was one before that. I guess there was a symbiote, something like that. Like I know there was one in the game. I thought there was one in the comics, but the Null story, that actually was compelling. That was actually a really good story for symbiotes.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, but I thought there was one before that, and I think that's why people were just so sick of the symbiotes. But Rhodey does have a canon niece, Leela Rhodes. She would have taken over for Tony back in 2016, but not that cash grab character Riri. Yeah, Azra is awesome. Right here getting this. And then Quinn says number 1 Heat Seeker, Gun Honey series number 1 is number 1. Cool. So that's, and Mark says that Sword of Azrael series is very good. And Terry Moore is a cartoonist. Yeah, but you can still have somebody color his work. Just saying.
Some people like black and white art.
To be fair, Walking Dead started off with that, but Walking Dead, I really enjoyed the story. I didn't read the story. I just kind of browsed through it. So maybe
people that love Terry Moore's stuff, though, they love his stuff.
But I'll say he does draw some cheesecake in that book, so I can see why some people might be sticking with it, even though it's black and white. All right, let me scroll down here. Yeah, I don't care for the Jeff Loeb, Tim Sale, Spider-Man. Maybe you guys might be, but it's a gallery. It's all it is, well, I got art.
No, it's a gallery edition.
He's not usually just covers.
Gallery edition, I believe, usually is like oversized.
Spider-Man Blue 1 through 6.
Yeah, it's like oversized, so it's like really tall and wide, you know, like so you get really.
I guess if you want to get it, though, no oversized.
I never read Spider-Man Blue, so
$50.
Yeah, but it's like the absolute editions. You ever see those? Like how big they are? That's what the gallery editions are. They're big.
They should turn into a treasure edition. The old school treasure editions, huge ones.
It's kind of, I think, what they're doing here. But this is, this is just meant to be a really premium edition.
No, I just never cared for Tim Sale's art. That he passed away this year too, right? Was it last year? It's hard to tell, man. So many people were passing away in the past year or so. I always forget who passed away when. But crazy.
Yeah, there's been a lot in the past several years.
All right, let's go back to these ones. Night of the Ghoul. Scott Snyder, man. Francisco Francavilla. That's getting a trade for $20. All Against All. Now, I want to talk about this Invincible, the new edition. They're releasing it in manga size. That's what it looks like.
They are?
Yeah. 6x9 soft cover. Is that manga?
Oh, yeah.
This is 1 through 7. And look, they already have 8 through 13 for the next volume. So if you manga lovers want a manga size version, collect all of them.
That's not a bad experiment. We'll see. If you can get these in Barnes and Nobles and stuff, there are lots of kids, man, that buy manga. They've never stepped foot in a comic book store. But
I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be in manga like format, reading from right to left.
No, I don't think that'll be the case. No. But that format, it fits visibly like what they're into, so it seems less foreign. So if it's more in line with the things that they already like, they might be more inclined to try it out.
Yeah, the thing
Plus, it'll fit on their bookshelves with their manga collection, and it won't look all weird.
Also, the art is pretty much very manga style.
Yeah, I guess in some ways. Now this is a very very interesting. I wonder how this works for them. Like if they can get sales this way.
It's just
not how I would want to do it. Like
no.
I don't want smaller pages. Like, but Gen Z might be gobbling it up. maybe they'll release it without colors too, so that could be more like a manga.
If it's black and white, you could do that. Black
and white on that pulpy print that mangas have, that pulpy paper.
Might as well, dude. It's a hit TV show. A lot of people love. I mean, not because it says hit animated, but it actually is popular. A lot of people like to talk about Invincible. And put it in a manga format, and then you slip it in next to all the mangas. I think people might be picking it up, especially new kids. $13 for 7 issues. That's a reasonable, decent price, I guess.
That's about the price of manga.
I've been getting I get the compendiums because I'm like you. I'm like I want the giant, oversized stuff. So I'm looks fun. Hold on, I hear someone popping in the background. Oh, it's Mr. Engeltine. Hello, Mr. Engeltine.
Englentine. It's been freaking 7 years, man.
I call you Engeltine because you don't like it.
I know. At this point, no, you're not the only one. Nerdette never has gotten that right. Oh, man, I forgot to get my water. So what's up? What you talking about?
Not much. Just going over the trades, man. Just a regular top 5 Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we're at the trade part. We went through all the top 5 stuff. Was checking out Invincible. Invincible here is releasing a manga size.
Oh, nice. Oh, like the
yeah, the manga.
Okay, yeah, they used to do that with like the Runaways, Future Imperfects, Emma Frost had this.
So
yeah.
Seeing this is going to be in a manga format, and it's 7 issues. We're talking about they're like Barnes and Noble, Pizza, where you go to your manga sell. This actually might get more popular because a lot of people like manga than they like comic books. Sad to say, but Invincible is drawn like a manga to me. It's a very compelling story all the way through. Not only it's an animated hit show, so more people seen that. So it might sell better. 208 pages for $13.
Yeah, I missed out. That warehouse sale I go to every Saturday. The first day or first thing they had up was 1 through 9 of the hardcovers.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm jazzed. I'm going to get there. I was waiting for it to get to 80% off. Just buy the whole thing because it would have ended up being like $65 for all 9. Yeah. Because I knew I could sell it to somebody for $130.
I've been collecting the compendiums. I never collected this series before, so I started getting into compendiums. And like
they had the volume 1, 2, and 3 of the compendiums, and that got taken up 2 weeks ago, which would have been for about $60, but $20 a piece. That's a great price.
Or anything, I don't care what you're buying.
But this seems like it wouldn't be too bad. If they continue it all the way through. I hate when they try to collect everything and they stop in the middle and then they restart it later with the same first 3 books.
Well, according to this, I saw they actually have loads. This is the second book.
Just to show Dave Asanowitz, I see he's in the audience. Thank you very much, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I might actually read this before. I've never read this before, and I might read it before I put it on the auction. But thank you. Your box came in here. I'm going to send a message to Tim to find out what's what. Hey, Ash, what's up?
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
Oh, getting over COVID.
Oh, so better that you're getting over it? Or still bad you still have it?
Well, I'm not 100%, but I'm much better than I was.
I'm one of the lucky ones. I mean, I was even kissing up on Gail when we thought she had a cold and she had COVID. Nothing. I was like, oh, don't worry, honey. You're so beautiful. Kiss, kiss, kiss. And I never caught the COVID, even though I was making out with a woman who did,
if only that guy in 28 weeks later would have had the same,
I know, right?
Distance.
Yeah. Gail, however, had it twice, so she's like, God damn it, it's your turn.
So looking at this is the second volume, which I guess the second one they're gonna do. It's coming out in November. 8 through 13. Now this is 6 books, I guess, compared to the 7 they had. Or no, wait.
I'm assuming that you're just counting all of the Night Terrors that you want to get as one book.
I am not getting any of the Night Terrors. Oh man, it's Future State all over for me.
Yeah, I will read them.
On the pirate site.
I said nothing. No. What are you talking about? Obviously not that.
It's okay. I'm called RDV for a reason.
I got better things to do with my time.
Yeah, well, I read shit like this with the assumption that someday I might make another video. So I'm becoming like Eric with the videos here.
Guess one bad day, Penguin's getting a hardcover. Is all this coming out. And then Deathstroke Inc. Is getting its own volume finally now.
Are they giving each of the One Bad Days their own individual hardcovers?
I think so. Gosh. Why not? Milk it. And what's going to come out? A box set.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that. They actually have a box set coming out for it.
Why not? They are doing that when all these books come out. Release them individually. Milk as much you can. Then put a box set. There's going to be someone who's going to be like, you know what? I want the box set now, even though they have the books already.
I never heard one good thing about these books.
Good covers.
Good covers. The
Yeah,
only one I
they're-
like.
That's
fine.
it. That's all I could say. I've read some of them. I still have some of them waiting for me in the in my hold box at the shop, and still I'm finding them the variants now for 80% off at the warehouse. This
And I'm
new
not even-
book shit is a scam.
And I'm not even suggesting that they're bad books because I haven't read them.
Mhm.
But when a book comes out and no one really talks about it, you just know, like, if a book is
Does it really
really
exist?
good, it's gonna get people, like, there's gonna be buzz. You're gonna hear when it just sort of they come out and just quietly go away. Like and then you see them treating it like this, like, we're like, oh, now we got the deluxe hardcovers and all this stuff, and it's like you're treating it as if it's like this modern classic, and it had no fanfare. Like,
it's John Ridley. Who wants a hardcover John Ridley book?
well, it just I just don't treat mid books like they're the Dark Knight Returns. Like, it's just
Yeah, you got to keep some
because
perspective.
people do. Like, you go to the store and you see, like, when it gets a deluxe treatment. As a buyer, you're like, oh, this must be something special because look at this deluxe version they gave it. We're kind of trained to think that that's what good books get. They get the nice hardcovers and the glossy covers, and then it's not. It's just actually a mid book.
You and I are old enough to remember when they only gave trade paperbacks to special stories, to the ones that people were really excited about. Now it's whatever, let's put them out. And I kind of do appreciate that. It is cool for the person who wants to just collect all of it in trades, but
still waiting on some of those trades after Exile for freaking Superman. Come on, DC.
I do have to admit, I kind of miss the pageantry of the trade paperback. Remember, they used to get someone to write a foreword, talk about how great the story, what it meant, or maybe what the author or the artist meant to someone. Yep. And they made a deal of it. Now it's just, okay, here it is.
Right.
Trade paperbacks used to be things that you would buy because you already had the floppies, but there was no way you were letting your friend borrow your floppies.
Right.
Right. And so it was like your reading copy, and you'd be like, dude, you've never read Dark Knight Returns? Here, take this, go read it. Like, you could just hand it out. All of my early trades from like the 80s and the early 90s are all books that I have collected. Like, I wanted a version that I could read over and over again, not have to pull out of the bag, not worry about damaging it. Like, nowadays it's like a different thing. Nowadays a lot of people are like, oh, I wait for the trade. It's like they replace buying the floppies with buying the trades. And it makes sense. I mean, I'm not faulting anyone that does. Comics are very expensive and everything, but it has taken away the specialness of them. Trades are no longer meaning like, oh, this is something you should read. It's
I was just reading the Batman Alien book again, and in the beginning, I've read the story a couple of times. I love the Batman versus Alien, but this time around I was more intrigued by the opening. It was written by Frank Darabont, the guy who directed Walking Dead and Shawshank Redemption. And he was talking about how great Bernie Wrightson was, his experience with Bernie Wrightson. They were friends. I was almost like, I read that and I was like, I think I'm done with the book. That was really cool to read that kind of thing.
Yeah. So here's Marvel Zombies. All your Marvel stuff, zombies, and one thing, $125 for this.
I'll wait for Amazon to bring it down to 40.
It's not trades.
I would get that though. I'm kind of excited for this one. Not excited, $125 excited, but $40 excited. Let's go.
It could be the best book ever, comic book, and I don't want to spend $125.
It's
okay. Okay.
Look. Here's the thing though. That's 1,200 pages.
Yeah,
that is a gigantic book.
I would go 60, maybe 75. Let's put it this way. I haven't picked up Doom yet because Amazon, I was going to, and Amazon put it from 60 to 100. And I was like, ooh, I want it? Yes, because in 2 weeks, it's going to be $300.
And I have to agree with you because this is all the zombie stuff. So you're not getting just the good zombie stuff from the beginning. You're getting some of the crappy stuff putting in there too. So
I don't think I've read all of these.
we have.
I know I've read 1 through 3 in the Ash and the Evil Dead one.
Yeah, so it has Kirkman, Fred Van Lente, Jonathan Mayberry, Wellington, Seth Graham-Smith. Never heard of this guy. Kevin Walker. But you got Nick Dragotta, Sean Phillips on the art here. So
it's a cool thing for fans of Marvel Zombies. I think. I mean, 1,200 pages. You're getting a big monster of an omnibus.
The Black Panther Initiative.
You can find that on In Stock Trades. It'll be probably $67, $70.
Okay, your Marvel Apes Prime 8, number 1. Yeah, Marvel Apes, all those. 1, 2, 3, Marvel Zombies, this 2005 edition. Then Marvel Zombies 2, from 2007. Marvel Zombies 3, 2008.
Rhaegar says Marvel Zombies is offensive to him. Why is it offensive to you?
Everything is offensive to him. If you take offense,
he does get offended pretty easy.
I'm offended that you're offended, Rhaegar.
I thought Marvel Zombies. I'm not a huge fan of Marvel Zombies, but I do get a chuckle, like, because the term Marvel Zombie has been around for as long as I can remember collecting comics, and it refers to the blind loyalty that Marvel Comics fans seem to have about their books. Way even more, like, this was obvious to me even back as a kid in the 80s. Like, there weren't DC zombies. DC fans were very much like, if the book sucks, I'm not going to get it. Like, Marvel were like, whatever, just feed me more Marvel. So that term came out to be, and then Robert Kirkman in the 2000s or whatever decided to, like, use that term and make something out of it, and he wrote a story that was very different. I give him credit for like doing an outside the box that was also kind of like self-deprecating in a way, like Marvel kind of recognizing, having a little fun with themselves.
So Ultimate Fantasy 4 is glued in this too. So 21 through 32. Oh well, it skips around. It skips,
That's in the that's the opening story.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Ultimate Universe crossed over. That's kind of cool.
Well, that's where they first appeared. The first appearance is the first Ultimate. Yeah, that Ultimate Fantastic Four 21 is the first appearance of the Marvel Zombies. Reed Richards is contacting another dimension where there's a Reed Richards, and he's older, wiser, and he tells the Ultimate Reed Richards, we should meet. Come on over to our dimension. So the Fantastic Four go there, and it's Marvel Zombie land. So that kind of set everything off. They end up capturing them in the Ultimate universe. I forget how they get rid of them, but they have them behind they have them in a cage and all that, or at least prison. And the Reed Richards says, I'm smarter than all of you, and we will be getting out of here soon. And they do basically the dumbest thing anybody could ever think of or fall for, where they said, see, I told you, we're about to get out right now. And they disappear. And so all the army dudes run in, and it's just, it's the Invisible Girl making invisible. I'm like, well, you guys did know there was somebody who could make them invisible. You didn't check infrared. You didn't check any other kind of spectrum. But yeah, there you go.
Couldn't they
okay, though.
I would have just burned them, annihilated them.
Oh, you think so? Yeah, and then you'd have to deal with Johnny Torch, which you drown him. But except for he's a zombie. The burning would work with one of them, but I guess,
I guess, yeah.
Why does zombie Johnny Torch not burn himself? These are the questions we need answered by the next Marvel Zombies.
Well, it's the same reason why zombies are able to just keep walking after they're dead.
Yeah, I like the idea of a zombie whose energy depletes.
Yeah,
like if you want them, if you want to have them run, okay, fine. But when they're newly dead, but as they get more and more decrepit, and
thank you.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, But yeah, The Walking Dead said like they just go when there's no food source, they just hibernate. I was like, why would they hibernate? They're not alive. They're not saving their energy. They're dead. I don't know, but I did read this one, Two-Face, One Bad Day. Actually, it's pretty good for Tamaki. It was decent. It wasn't the best, but I did like it. Unforgiven. Yeah, it's pretty much Marvel today. Unforgiven. But look at this, guys. Clark and Lex is on trade now.
That looks so awesome. That's out. It's out now, or it'll be out tomorrow. Yeah, that looks so awesome. I love the way they're drawing Lex.
Taller. Yeah, and they're both blushing. Yeah. Or they're doing coke.
He looks like he wants to be in a 1980s punk band.
Right. Blade of the
Who
Immortal.
the hell buys those? I just
No clue,
girls.
dude.
These are marketing.
girls
for
don't
girls.
buy those. Girls got better things to do.
You'd be surprised.
I think the writer's friends.
But also, when I use the term girls, I'm using that loosely. Pink Lemonade trade, $25. I thought I already got a trade. We got they collect all the Marvel guys versus Spider-Gwen, Little Spider, which is really. I was looking through it. It's like it's not even like all of her appearances. Like it's just like.
Can you explain to me what the heck is Marvelverse?
Marvelverse is just the name they came up with.
Isn't every comic part of the Marvel universe?
Only if you think about it for a second.
Like if it was Spider-Verse, Spider-Gwen, that might make sense. But Marvelverse? Like, what is this brand?
The Marvelverse, as I say, is kind of like the multiverse, but they call it the Marvelverse.
I promise you that you are giving it more thought than they ever have.
It really makes no sense to me. Like Marvelverse.
So, Edge of Spider-Verse, 2014, number 2, her first appearance, obviously. Spider-Gwen, number 5, and then Spider-Gwen 1 through 2, and then 13. It's really weird how they just randomly, because it's not even a collection of like her like Spider-Gwen as far as her like her own series called Spider-Gwen. It's just her random appearances here.
And why wouldn't you put Spider-Verse on there anyway when like that's the big movie?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the brand that people understand from the movie. Like,
I don't know, man.
Anyways.
Why are they putting a book called Hallows Eve out during the summer?
I don't know, man. I can't tell you, man. I don't know why they have Green Goblin being the mentor to Peter Parker. And wait, he's coming back in a few issues. Going to be the Green Goblin again. Surprise! He's evil, Peter. I thought you changed.
They need to make a goblin for every color in the rainbow.
The Green Lantern thing. They'll be mood goblins.
Well, they got a red goblin. We got a green goblin. Now we have a gold goblin, and I think a white goblin
and a hobgoblin.
And we do have a hobgoblin. It's not technically a color, but you know,
he was orange. Get Jason Backendale. Was it? Or no, it was Leeds. Something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it was like. Anyway, Irredeemable is finally being collected, I guess. This is the Mark Waid book he did on the side.
I would like to read. Eric spoke very highly of this, so I kind of want to check it out. It's okay.
Oh, I thought that was you. It's a fireworks. I thought they were like quick hitting your leg on the desk.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, there's our back door neighbor over here is really going to town.
That whore. When the Plutonian, the world's greatest superhero, snaps and turns into the world's greatest villain. Where have I heard that before? Only his former teammates have a chance of stopping him and his rampage. And for those who are new to this to Eagle Team,
it's okay.
He has a bird called Twiddles. Twiddles' first appearance on the Geeky Puppet Show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's okay, boy. He's a bit bitey because of the sounds he's on edge right now.
Oh, yeah, that's loud.
Yep. He's panicking. What he might start tweeting really loud because he's trying to warn me of danger.
Or he's saying, "Let me out! I want to fly away." Fight or flight. All right, so it's Mark Wade and Peter Krause. We only kill each other. So it looks kind of cool. Concept collects 1 through 37. The special number 1, Incorruptible 2526, alongside a new forward by Academy Award nominee Kemp Powers from Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and an afterword. It comes by Grant Morrison, All-Star Superman and Claus. The one.
It sounds pretty good. Yeah, the way Eric described it's pretty cool.
So it's the deluxe edition, so it looks kind of cool for $60. It doesn't list how many pages it is. But it has 40 issues out, so it's got to be pretty big. But I don't know. I'll have to see if they have it on in-stock trades for cheaper. I like the free shipping. You know, when you spend, you not only you get like 40% off, but you also get that free shipping though when you spend $60 or more. I can't help it. I that's cool for trades. All right, Magic. I don't know anybody who's buying Magic the Gathering. Didn't really leave the other book out. Prism Stalkers. Well, here's the other variant for that. Some weird
My
stuff.
question is people, having been an old Magic the Gathering player, who is into Magic the Gathering that has money left over to spend on expensive comics?
Yeah. And then here's another one for. I've never heard this company. It's called Dark Planet. But they have volume 2 and volume 3 of their book. So I don't know, but that's pretty much all I have for this week for myself. So sharing. I do have. I don't think I showed these off. I did mention these at the auction. I was at my half price books because I don't have Ollie's here because Ollie sucks. Come to Wisconsin, Ollie's, and maybe
I don't have an Ollie's or a half price books.
Ooh, you got no books.
I know, that's true.
So this is what I was talking about on E's auction on Saturday. The original trade.
Oh, I was about to widescreen you.
I know. Isn't it different when you're not on?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I have no powers here.
I can't. I mean, not that I would be able to see Ash anyway, but I can't see him on the bottom either.
So I'm excited to read all to go through this. This is obviously after the death. This is a Return to Superman. But just listen to the talents of the names of this: Dan Jurgens, Carl Kessel, Louise Simonson, Roger Stern, John Bogdanov, Tom Grummett, Jackson Geiss, Brett Breeding, Doug Hazelwood, Dennis Jockey, Dennis Rodier, Gerard Jones, M.D. Bright, and Romeo Tanghall. Dude, it's fun. And this was a $20 book originally. I got it for half of that. So
Very nice.
I said the original.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's so cool. And look, it has the perfect version of Superboy.
Yeah, the real Superboy, the real John was Connor Kent.
Yeah, the real Connor Kent. Before they decided to give him just a T-shirt, make him a cosplayer.
Okay, so you know, we use the term the real a lot. For me, that started in New 52. Yeah, before New 52, that's the real DC Comics. You know, yeah. I mean, granted, they've done some stuff, but
so the other one I couldn't pass up. I saw this, and this collects issues 1 through 14.
Nice.
So
that is particularly
Wow.
sweet, there, sir.
So I saw it there. I was like, I couldn't pass this up, man. It's Perez and Wine. That has all the original art here. Like I said, I am loving me some pre-52. And dude, how can I pass this up, man? I read the first 6 issues. So I'm like, okay, let's read the next 7.
You like them?
Yeah, I like the first ones. I like the first.
Yeah, they're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah, Dude,
that's the run. Eric's like, yeah, I don't care for it too much. It's
I know.
Like, are we reading different things here, dude?
I mean, I love Perez art whenever I can get, Cheetah drawn by Perez.
Well, to be fair, that is a little bit too modern for Eric.
Yeah, it's only 30 years old.
He's more of a Silver Age guy.
I mean, I do like the Byrne Wonder Woman too, but as I go through this, that's my goal. So I'm still going through the Flash stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go through Wonder Woman, and and then probably because I keep hearing that Rucka had an awesome run on Wonder Woman as well too. So, and so yeah, I got that, and then yeah. Don't tell Eric, but I found it.
Huh?
Yeah. This one's only $2.49.
Wow, not too shabby.
1 through 4. And then this is at the next couple of issues. 5 through 9. The only problem is that these trades were never put on a third trade out for the series. It's a 27 issue series. 1 through 9.
That isn't bad talk.
But Eric said he's sending me all the issues actually.
That's
Not
good.
most of them. So cool. And Ash, when you get the money, you're gonna get the compendium. This is all side stories. Yep.
Those are nice. How many issues is that? Like 50 issues?
1, 2, and 1 and 2, and 1 through.
Actually,
3.
that doesn't look as thick as my Walking Dead compendium.
This is just the side stories. This is
Oh,
not.
that's the side stories.
Huge.
Yeah. These are all the side stories that came with the universe. So there it looks on the inside.
I gotta get back into that series.
It's a heavy freaking book for a soft cover.
Never read it.
You never read any of Invincible?
Nope. Well, I read a couple of issues and I realized I was at the end of it, so I stopped.
Oh.
Like I picked it up at like 120, and I was like, no, this is wrapping up, so I stopped. I figured at some point in time I'll pick it up at number 1.
I do recommend that you go back into the series. I said when you can get. Like I said these are when someone creates their own universe, you get all different characters. They're actually meaningful characters. Kirkman puts every thought into all the character he does.
Yeah, he does a impressive job. I initially was not impressed with it. I think I read like the first 6 issues or whatever, and I was like for my channel, and I was like, I was expecting better and didn't think much of it. And then later on, for whatever reason, I think it might have been Bankman was getting into it or something, and I was like, I got to give that a second chance because I really do like Kirkman. And I'm glad I picked it back up because once you get past like the first 12 issues, actually it's when Ryan Otley comes on as an artist. It starts changing. You can literally watch Robert Kirkman evolve as a writer on this series. And I think it was Rhaegar earlier was asking about it. Like it looks like it's like an overly violent kind of like nihilistic type story Superman. I thought that way kind of too, but the story is about Invincible, which is the kid, and it's really about it. There's a lot of coming of age about him. Like his dad is essentially like bad Superman, but it's a story about a kid with a messed up dad, kind of like and him trying to be his own person. And
it's like Jonathan Kent just getting his powers and realizes his dad is not the hero he always thought he was.
He's General Zod.
Yeah, and there is a lot of there is a lot of like violence and stuff in it, but it's not done just for like shits and giggles. Like it's really done to contrast the story and to, when that story was done, we've seen a lot of copycats since then, but at the time, no one had really done a story like that, and it was really meant to set it apart. Like you're reading a book that looks like a Marvel or a DC comic, but then you're seeing the violence side of it, and like I said, it's not done just to be overly gratuitous. It's done to show you, like, first of all, like how things might really be, but also to like set it apart. Like, comic worlds can feel very cartoony, like where like you can just punch people across the city and nothing happens to them. When realistically, if someone like Superman or Hulk punched you, your head would explode. Like your the physics of comics.
It's a little gory. It's in a sense where somebody loses a limb, they lose a limb in there. It's not, and it's not just like, oh, because he's losing a limb. It's realistic. If Superman punched the Flash would have a hole in him. He wouldn't just have a broken jaw.
And Invincible, the character Invincible, of course, like his power is being nigh and indestructible.
Yes.
So he can, of course, take that abuse.
But then he comes across people who are just near his level of his own race, so then he has to fight. And then many times throughout the series, does he get near close to death? But they're able to revive him in a tube. Help heal him up. And it's actually it's not like instant where he's like, oh, I'm back to A-OK with the next issue. Sometimes he'd be like, they address it's been like a month or two. He's been in there, like, he was really close to death, but he's like fully healed again. And it said it's basically Jonathan Kent. One day he finds out he gets his powers. He wants to be for good, and then he finds out his dad's from an alien race that he's meant there to conquer that planet. But he went past his orders, and now the aliens are just being like Kryptonians saying like, Kal-El, you were supposed to take over the planet, but I didn't want to. But that's now he has to fall in line to try and save his family, and he becomes the bad guy, and Jonathan's like, fuck you, Dad. And like, as you see that as you watch the cartoon, you saw that how it's like, oh. But not only this, you see like this kid Mark. He just wants to be a normal kid. He wants, he likes another girl on the team, but she's dating somebody else. He starts dating someone, and he starts dating someone going to college. It's just his whole life growing up. It just, you see him just trying to adjust to life, being a superhero, trying to stop bad guys. And sometimes he forgets that he's stronger than he is. And sometimes he actually does hurt people really bad.
Yeah, that and in the early issues, there was a scene where I think it was like aliens invaded that or something.
Yeah,
and he's trying to save this woman from a building or something, and she ends up getting all mangled and mauled and stuff because
he doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't know what he's doing, and I loved how Kirkman kind of told the story because that's kind of how it really is with kids, right? They don't understand as their kids are transitioning from a kid to an adult. They don't have a real clear understanding of like how the world really works, and sometimes they just imagine things work like it is on TV and stuff. And it's like, no, you can't just I don't know. It's hard to describe without like having it in front of me, but there was ramifications to your actions, and you were like, yes, see, that's what happens in actuality. And he was having to like deal with this, and it's like, yeah, things aren't all this nice and clean like on TV and cartoons, like.
But I want to address that, Dave. It is like Dragon Ball Z. I think Kirkman is a fan of all this stuff, like Superman, and he's kind of taking a little bit of ideas from all of them and putting his own spin onto it, which isn't wrong. But I mean, yes, but I think it's better than Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z was the very beginning was like, oh. And then, the whole thing about the Cracker was sent there to conquer the Earth, but he didn't because he lost his memory. And then Vegeta on them, but then they leave. It's like, and then it's all you ever see of the Saiyan race again for a while, because. But I won't go into that though. But yeah. E, are you doing anything on your channel tonight still?
I could. Yeah, we could. talk something, do something, just you know.
So I want to keep this short. I want to go too long with this.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to jump off here, jump on there. I'm good with that.
All right. So guys, we're gonna end it right here. E, thank you for jumping on the channel.
No, I didn't contribute too much, but
no, it's okay. Yeah. Honestly, it's like have Eric on here. Eric's not buying anything, but he gives opinions, which is fun because I said I'm just by myself, and it's like these guys shilling everything.
Yeah. Well,
so this is what I like.
My only experience with Invincible was the TV show, which I really liked.
If you like the TV show, you'll like the comic. Like the TV show captures the comic really well, except it does one really stupid woke change with his girlfriend. Makes his girlfriend this Black Lives Matter activist girl, like, which was really stupid.
That's going to date that show so much.
In the comics, she's a blonde bimbo, way more likable. She's kind of like dumb, but she's like got a good heart. That's like the big difference. Otherwise, I think the show was like slightly better because you could tell Kirkman has become a better writer since 20-something years ago when he wrote Invincible. So the story arc that they do for season 1, the way it wraps up is even better than how it happens in the comic book. So
kind of like really Umbrella Academy.
I like Umbrella Academy, the comic, better.
Yeah, I'm on the other side of that particular coin. I'm just now reading Umbrella Academy. It's fine, but sometimes I say this: it's better to watch the show and then read the book than to read the book and then read. Yeah.
Well, that's what I did.
Time it didn't work on me.
For me, though,
I don't know. I've just started it.
Ash and I read the book after we watched the show for what's it called? The Boys.
I read through. This is one of the last things I read through too, right here. I found this on at the warehouse. It was $3, so I was like, I haven't read this in decades, and yeah, we'll save that story for my channel. I know you want to get out of here.
All right. So, guys, thank you all for showing up. We'll be jumping over to E's channel. Before you do, if you haven't already done so, check out the Ko-Fi link going across the screen right there, ko-fi.com/Palpatine. Money goes basically, if goes any you spend, you have to spend at least $1 because you can't spend less than that, you know. But if you do, the money goes towards helping out Pixel pay for the channel. Pixel pays for the StreamYard. He pays for the Marvel and the DC grading app. So help him out with that if you want to. But the cool thing is, even if you just drop $1, you're eligible to basically help us decide. Basically, you can choose what our next reading is going to be or our next retrospective. And if you want to be in either one of those, just let us know when you donate. Thank you all for showing up. Other ways you can help the channel if you want to. Leave a like if you haven't done so. And leave a comment after the stream's done. Thank you all for being here. You guys are awesome. I didn't expect anybody to show up here for 4th of July. I was like, Ash showed up. I'm like, yay, there's 2 people. Yay. Because as I said at the beginning, I celebrated my stuff yesterday. Everyone else is like pretty much busy today. There's nothing celebrations going on.
We don't do July 4th. We haven't done a July 4th since the kids were young.
Well, they did the fireworks on Sunday night with the fireworks. Actually, take it back. Saturday night was the fireworks. Mm-hmm. Sunday night for us was a parade. So there was nothing after that. From June 30th to the 2nd is our celebration for Franklin, where I live. And it was like so stupid. I was like, really? The 4th is on the Tuesday. It's like, do it on fireworks on 4th of July.
I agree. It's like you people, when you have your winters, you'll have Halloween. If it snows, you'll have it the next day or something like that. Sorry, guys, you missed out.
It has snowed on Halloween, but not for me though. But it's in freaking cold and rain.
Yeah. The problem me and Gail and fireworks is we both worked at the theme parks where every night they end the day with fireworks. So, trying to sell me on, hey, you need to get out of your house and go with a whole bunch of drunk people to watch fireworks.
Yeah.
That doesn't appeal to me. So I'm just going to be blurry here.
Well, you can't see with our glasses anyway. Who cares?
I know, right? Am I blurry or is it just me without my glasses?
My brother, he's down in northern Florida. He said it's 4th of July is every day.
There you go.
It's like there's always someone on line of fireworks, no matter where you are.
Yeah, my old thing was I just didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, do you want to do something 4th of July or something? And
I used to, dude. When I was a kid, I went to fireworks all the time, but then I stopped going because I realized everything's expensive now. Even just for carnival rides or food, it's like overpriced.
Wow.
Yeah, my little town is just like, give us all your money plus your taxes too. It's like, so I stopped going when I was.
Gail started looking for houses in West Virginia, BT Dubs.
Really?
Uh-huh. She's looked at Indiana, and then now I mentioned, well, what about West Virginia? You know, Tim Pool's got his bunker up there. Maybe we could find a bunker in West Virginia. And so she started looking. At first she was like, these houses look creepy, but then she started noticing the price and the crime statistics. So like, okay, maybe.
Well, they have open carry in West Virginia, I think.
Yeah. Well, also they have some sort of if you're poor, you get this off of a house or something like that.
Get a free gun.
Yeah, I think it's a free house with every gun purchase.
Yeah, I think Trustee's over near Virginia somewhere.
Yeah,
one of the Western or Eastern. I'm not sure where. Or is it Western and Northern Virginia? I can't remember what it's called. There's West Virginia, and then there's what was the other one? Just regular Virginia.
Just Virginia and West Virginia.
That's weird how they
it's not called East Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah. They're both in East. Why is it called West? They're both East. Dumb.
It's all perspective.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna hop off here. We're gonna jump over on I Love Comics. Go if you haven't subscribed there, do that right now. You'll be sorry if you don't, because I'll show up and find you. I will. All right, guys. The longest goodbye.
All right, not the longest.